you have an amazing range of questions. One that is becoming increasingly important about ASD and gender identity disorders. Interestingly, a few weeks ago, I gave a presentation to my colleagues that work in the area of gender identity, and to be aware of those that come through for gender identity clinics, that there may be people with ASD coming through, and about 10% at least of those who go to a gender identity clinic have signs of an autism spectrum disorder. Now, this may occur for a variety of reasons. Some will say that I've always felt different from my genetic gender and have always wanted to be the opposite gender. And this may have been at the age of 2 and 3 years old, a boy wanting to dress as a girl or a girl wanting to dress as a boy. And their brain seems to have been wired very early on that they are not satisfied with their gender, and that causes the gender dysphoria or unhappiness. But there can be other pathways. One of them can be to recognize that if you're a boy with Asperger's syndrome, that you want to be alone, and there are times in the playground when you are alone by choice and circumstance, but the girls may adopt you and feel sorry for you and include you in their games. And girls are nice and kind and sociable and friendly. And the boy may think, if I became a girl, would I be cured of Asperger's syndrome? And can start to develop a thinking process that changing gender would be the cure. There are also girls with Asperger's syndrome who find other girls bitchy, mean, emotional, and very difficult to make friends with, but they much prefer being with boys. And so the boys may have been delighted to have captured a girl, and if she doesn't know what to do, she's a girl and we'll explain it to her. And so the girl feels comfortable in the company of boys, has a scientific mathematical mind, enjoys boy jokes, and finds that male company is preferable to female company. And that may also lead to the thought, if I change gender, would I then be with my naturally supportive group of friends, and I would like to join them officially. When we have people referred to a gender identity clinic, there seems to be another two groups. One is a group that are very emotionally attached to changing gender. And their view is, my life is not complete and I want to change gender, and their heart is very much involved in that decision. But the second group, the gender identity issue, has become a special interest with a factual knowledge of the surgery and the hormones and so on. And that special interest may have a use-by date, and for some, after a few years, they may completely change their view of changing gender because it was achieved through intellectual interest rather than a deep feeling of, I'm not happy with my gender. Now, the issue can be, after the surgery has occurred, this will obviously not create friendships. It does not solve Asperger's syndrome. But the person may feel more content with their gender. So when I see someone with Asperger's syndrome, that they are very young and they may want to change gender, for parents I say, well, give it time, see what happens. Go with it, don't inhibit it. It may well be that that child needs to wear their assigned gender clothing at school, but when they get home they may have to change into whatever they would choose in a way that they feel comfortable, but explaining with a comic strip conversation how other people feel about their decision. Over time, when that person has had quite considerable thought and counselling, then the decision for surgery may occur. And I do have personal friends who have Asperger's syndrome who have changed gender. One is Wendy Lawson, who has now become Wen Lawson. She's my age, and she's had surgery and hormone changes. And I saw her in London just a few weeks ago, and I saw how passionate and happy she was about her gender change. She's delighted, she's really pleased. She has a bit of a beard, and she showed me her muscles, but she was so happy And I'm so pleased for her that she now has that happiness.